Okay, like you got a silver time, go for gold. You got a gold time, go for mommy. You got, sorry, you got that. Now go for rank or group
Hello and
3.
welcome to This Week in Surf. This is the weekly update for insiders, KSF No Lives, and aspiring 85 tick children, and I am your host, Repster. Those were the folks from Momentum Mod. It is a standalone game for Surf and B-Hop and a bunch of other movement games. But this week, we have two whole new maps. Surf Prevail by Iron Style, a tier 3 linear, one of the first of his maps. Looked really good. I had the opportunity to play test this, but I didn't really give any good input, but apparently it turned out just fine. What's even more interesting about this map is the bonus. It is a 1 ramp bonus. I've never seen something quite like this before. You flick up, you have to weave down to the bottom. It looks a little bit difficult, but I am excited to try it. This also brings us to the second new map of this week, Surf Sora by Griffey. It is a tier 1 staged map entirely themed off of Kingdom Hearts. It's also, I think, Griffey's second map ever made, but it was added to like every CSGO server. GFL, Go Free, Clarity, Surf Heaven, they all have this map. You're watching Tux play the map for probably the first time and setting a world record on Surf Heaven. However, I think it pales in comparison to Griffey's upcoming map, which I had the opportunity to play test, and it is simply phenomenal. I can't show you footage, I'm sorry. This brings us to the CS 1.6 section. I know you want to hear about this huge skip that was just hit. They have 3 new maps that may be a little familiar. The first is Surf Greensway. So it was ported from my game, CS Source, to CS 1.6. This is the CSS version. This is the CS 1.6 version. As you can see, it's pretty much 1-to-1 and looks really, really good. Next is Lowest Bidder, a relatively new tier 4 CS 1.6, was able to do it easily. And the last one, probably the most interesting, is Surf Volcanic, a technical tier 4 linear that has this incredible start skip that Caffrey does, and they can do it in CS 1.6. So why these maps? It's because all of these maps were small enough to fit into CS 1.6's map size requirements. So if you know other maps like these from CS Source or CSGO, they may be portable to 1.6. Despite this, there is an enormously long CS 1.6 map called Surf Tomb Raider. It clocks in at just over 5 minutes for most players. However, just this week, a huge 2-minute and 56-second skip was found. So normally, you surf through this, there's a whole KZ section and outside section, it's really long. Instead, Zor is able to find a new setup and skip half of the entire map. This makes it one of the biggest records in CS 1.6 history. There are only 2 other maps with skips this big. I'm probably going to make a video about that too. After this video, you need to go check that record out, link down below, as well as these 2 other really cool surf movies. The first is Camille's world record checkpoint video. Camille is one of the best Eastern European surfers in the world. 67 world record checkpoints. That's more than I'll probably ever have, and 3 world records. This massive compilation release was made by Honda and leads us to the last, Liquidator's new compilation. We've mentioned this name a couple times, the rank 1 on Surf Heaven, a simply incredible surfer breaking out on KSF. You're watching his world record on Surf Wasteland. He's got a lot of other records, so go check that video out as well. This brings us to the top 5 for this week. The number 5 spot is Vovs on Surf 666. With 13 votes on my Discord, Vovs takes 0.7 off of this map. Really long, really difficult, and previously held by Bazooki, one of the best CSGO surfers ever, who is currently going for rank 1 on GFL. This might be why I was upvoted. It's also because it's a pretty hard map to get a good run on. Number 4 spot for this week goes to Tux on Surf Instant Death, that new interesting map that we've talked about a lot. This record got 15 votes on the Discord. The record keeps going lower and lower with changes to the route. I am definitely doing a world record history video on this at some point. If you have any of the old routes, please give them to me through the Discord or in DMs. Tux is able to take 0.67 off both default and Natsu's best attempts, signaling that the run may be getting close to a bottom point unless a big route change is made. The number 3 spot that many of you voted for was MBN on Petrus, a huge name from CSGO, considered one of the best surfers ever. Takes the record by 0.2. It was previously held by Fishu, an incredible surfer, and it only took MBN 1 hour and 40 minutes to beat it, which is pretty insane. That's what it takes most people to beat a tier 4 or even a tier 3 map. But it didn't get nearly as many votes as our final 2 contenders. The first, in our number 2 spot, is Nate on Surf Garden H with 57 votes. I thought this was going to win it. It was an amazing run by Nate, and he takes 2 seconds off the record. It was previously held by Chromalia for, I believe, almost a year. You know who Chromalia is. He's a legendary surfer that we just interviewed. However, Nate did not do the stage 6 skip that he himself had found, or the stage 10 skip, one of his finest achievements done a couple weeks ago. If someone were to hit a run with both of those skips, it would be top 5 contenders for world record of the year. But it didn't beat, unfortunately, our number 1 spot. It was Lemix on Surf Facility. You probably expected that coming. 66 votes. He gets the first bonus 4 completion on 64 tick. Totally unprecedented. If you somehow don't know, Facility bonus 4 is one of the hardest bonuses in the game, done by very few people on KSF and nobody on 64 tick. Nobody has ever done this on any 64 tick server. It has no boosts, no help. I've got your keys on the screen now as well. Sorry, the units are really small. Lemix says it's one of the hardest things he's ever done, and it took him a lot of effort. Congratulations to him. I gotta give a shout out to Randy, who's been keeping me posted on all the Surf Heaven records. Thank you so much for watching, and good luck slotting those triangles.